It's no secret that Cloud9 has been dominating the NA scene this split, but how many people know why they're dominating? Knowing that a team is good isn't enough for me. I want to know what they're doing that makes them good so I can use that information to improve my own play. Now, I'm not on a team myself, nor am I even the analyst for a team, but I've been analyzing replays for quite a long time now, and I figured I would start sharing that with you all. The best place to start with Cloud9 is the MVP jungler Meteos. Meteos brings a unique jungling style to the scene that contradicts how a lot of people feel about jungling. He spends a lot of his time farming the jungle and a lot less time ganking than other junglers. To see how he gets away with this, I want to take a look at one of the Dignitas vs Cloud9 games from the NA LCS regionals. I'm going to play this clip sped up at first just so you can see his jungling route in comparison to Crums's. Meteos starts with a smiteless blue, runs straight to red, then to wraiths, wolves, all the way back up to golems, back to wraiths, and that's when he sees an opportunity to gank mid. We'll analyze the ganks more in depth later on, but suffice to say, he kills Scar mid, takes 4 creeps mid, including a cannon minion, takes wraiths, and then takes wolves before he backs. All this happens in about 3 minutes with absolutely zero downtime. When we compare this to Crumbs, he starts off with a smiteless red, runs straight to blue, then to wolves, and then he runs all the way across the map to bottom lane, avoiding wards with his flag and drag combo. Including running and wait time, it takes Crumbs about 40 seconds to initiate the gank in bot lane. Over the next 35 seconds, all summoners are exhausted by both sides in the bot lane, Sneaky picks up a kill, and Crumbs picks up a kill. Crumbs takes 2 minions from the lane, clears his golems, and recalls. He runs back to his wraiths to find that they've been taken by Meteos. So overall, how far ahead is Meteos at this point? He's up 3 wraith camps, 3 lane creeps, and a wolf camp. As a rough estimate, he's up about 245 gold, which, again, as a rough estimate, is equivalent to being up about 12 CS on your lane opponent, in addition to being level higher. Plus, let's not forget that Meteos' gank was not only incredibly efficient, but also incredibly successful. No one on C9 died, whereas with the gank in bot lane, AmiCutiePie went down, giving the kill over to Sneaky. In fact, if Sneaky didn't make a mistake on the tail end of that gank, he would have held on to both of his summoners. In the end, Crumbs spent 75 seconds of his time to participate in a gank that actually went in Cloud9's favor, while Meteos spent 10 seconds of his time to perform an incredibly successful gank. What I'd like to highlight here is that it's not that Meteos doesn't gank as often, but that his ganks are efficient and effective. Let's take another look at the gank on mid lane. Meteos simply doesn't hesitate for a second. It's all about efficiency for him. He runs straight from wraiths, not even stopping in the brush, flashes immediately to make it harder to avoid the cocoon. High follows up immediately with both of his summoners, and it's an easy kill, even with Scar blowing both of his summoners. Scar makes 2 crucial mistakes here that allow for this gank to be successful. 1, he doesn't flash the cocoon. Had he flashed the cocoon, it would have simply been a trade of summoner spells. 2, he exhausts High incredibly late, after he's already taken an auto attack and 2 spell casts. You can exhaust through stun, so being stunned here is no excuse. These 2 mistakes led to Scar's death, but you still have to give credit to Meteos and High for having absolutely no hesitation. If you know anything about Cloud9, you'll know that everything they do is a stepping stone to bigger objectives. A multitude of things allowed them to pick up an early dragon, so let's take a look at this clip. Because Meteos is ahead of Crumbs and High is ahead of Scarra, Meteos is able to bully Crumbs out of his own jungle, which allows C9 to pick up a free dragon. Dignitas attempts to peek at what's going on, but it's already too late because both bottom and mid lane were pushed to their turret. An important thing to note is that while the goalie looks negligible at this point at only 200 gold, C9 knows that around 1,000 of that gold isn't present. KiwiKid has first blood gold, Crumbs has a kill, and KiwiKid is ahead in CS over balls, but none of that matters if they're not at the dragon fight. C9 is one of the few teams that is able to recognize leads like this and allows them to snowball their advantage with an early dragon. After the dragon, Meteos clears his entire jungle, including taking his own blue buff, and then immediately heads bottom with a huge item advantage, Spirit of the Ancient Golem. While Crumbs picks up a kill for Scar, they have to use both the Patoy summoners and Scar's ult in a 3.5v2 situation. Meteos waits all of 10 seconds before picking up an easy kill on AmiCutiePie, blowing both of CutiePie's summoners without using any of his own or eliminations. They continue on with the push in the bot lane, and because Meteos has a 1300 gold item advantage over Crumbs, there's absolutely nothing that Dignitas can do to defend this turret, especially without Requiem. Unfortunately for them, they try to defend the turret, Crumbs and Patoy die, Cloud9 takes bot turret, Cloud9 takes mid turret, and Cloud9 takes top turret. Cloud9 sits on a 5k gold advantage at 11 minutes, and that pretty much spells defeat for Dignitas. To sum things up, I think that C9 understands the meta more than anyone else in the world. Yes, even the Korean teams. Cloud9 puts almost all their focus into their mid lane and jungle because they recognize that those lanes have the most influence on the map. If you're able to snowball your jungle and mid lane, you can assert that dominance anywhere on the map, and that's why even when it seems like C9 is behind early, they're actually not behind at all because they have all the gold on the right people. The jungle is littered with champions with amazing base damage, Elise being the prime example, and because of this you're able to build almost full tank items and still do an immense amount of damage. The important part here is that if your jungler gets ahead, they get incredibly tanky and they're able to dive turrets and force towers, which is why C9 always ends games so early. I may do an analysis of Cloud9's teamfights later on if people are interested, but you can see how their mid lane and jungle really carry their teamfights in the mid late game as well. Anyway, that's it for me guys. I also didn't get a chance to say it before, but I'm sorry for the quality of this video. I recorded it off the YouTube VOD and I couldn't get to play it in 720p, so it's a re-record of a 480p video, which, as you can tell, isn't the best quality. You can still see what's going on, so hopefully it's not that big of a deal, but I'll try to fix it for the future. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to let me know in the comment section below, and as always, good luck in your games, and I'll see you all next time.